Alright, so, some meta information first. Let's see if I can turn this on. Alright, so I think I told you, well, like, so what we have so far, we'll be running with the doomed, the transformed, protege, and the legacy. 1, 2, 3. Doomed, transformed, protege, legacy, and the outsider. The outsider is unavailable tonight, though, which shouldn't be too much of a problem, because I have some stuff to do for you guys tonight. So in game, as a bit of a recap, the team fought a lava-themed villain, got that sorted out, and then they retired to Karma's beach house. That's the doomed, that's Zenair. And then some stuff happened there. But in the meanwhile, what I would like to do is focus on our transformed. So on the night in question of last session, there was a bit of an event at the park to kind of commemorate the reopening of the park that you guys screwed up. So
destroyed.
Yeah, did so many things to you bad people, you. So some of you guys were in the crowd. Onyxius, who is Soldiers, met up with them later. Our transformed, however, I'm guessing you would have been in the little wooded area, the little wooded section of the park, kind of checking out what's been going on there.
Yep.
Alright, so you are in there, and this is a bit of a flashback because we're going back to see what you were doing at the time that all the other stuff was happening. And
oh, so this is a flashback?
Kind of, because this would have been going on at the same exact time as the events of last session.
Does that mean I have no backup?
Jesus
I don't
Christ.
like this.
So just to give you guys a little bit more background on masks, you don't die in this game. At least not like, it's not like D&D. So this is pretty much going to be narrative. So you don't have any backup, just so you know.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I won't be a campfire by the end of this.
Well, the lava monster is not here at the moment. He is kind of on his way to the festivities, let's say. So you two probably won't cross paths, so it probably won't be a campfire. I might have phrased that differently. Yeah. So you're there in the wooded area, and there's some little pathways and walkways, you know, so people can walk through there sometimes. But it's pretty much deserted right now because everyone is at the clay area of the park where they've set up a stage and lights and music and so on, because they'll have a band playing there after they do the ribbon cutting and so on to rededicate the park. You are, from what I gathered, you don't seem to be, Trent doesn't seem to be such a person inclined to socialize, so you probably would hang out here for a while, and you are just in the trees doing your thing, and suddenly you hear a voice, and it's a very, doesn't sound like a kind voice. Yeah, let's go with that. And the voice says, "Here you are. You've been hiding, Plant Man, but we know where to find you." And at the last part of that sentence, you kind of, that's when you know, well, what direction it's coming from, because it was kind of pervasive before, a little bit echoey, but by the end of what he's saying there, it's a little bit to your right, in a more shadowy part of it, probably about I don't know, 15 feet from you. So what would be your first response to that?
Well, now I know how to find you too. I'm gonna try to catch him if he's only 15 feet away.
Yeah. So what it is, I would suggest you could probably do an assess the situation. So
Okay.
in Roll20, you'll see I put up the moves you can do. So the first two, they're adult moves and peripheral moves. They're like the snapshots from the book, but I also put them individually so you could read it properly. So all of these things that are listed there, these are moves that each and every one of you can do. These are common moves. And the moves in your playbook are in addition to these.
Okay.
So if you...
So I have to choose a basic move.
No, you have access to any of these anytime.
Wait, so I can do adult moves too?
Sorry?
I can do adult moves too?
No, adult moves will come from certain playbooks will give you the ability to choose an adult move at certain times, that kind of thing.
Alright, at level up, okay.
Yeah.
Alright.
But the basic moves, everyone has access to the basic moves.
Okay, so I have to roll with superior.
Yeah. So this is the equivalent of doing a perception check in D&D. So you guys can probably assess the situation at different times if you think that there's something to be discovered there, or if you're not seeing the whole picture. So you can,
situational?
No, nothing situational right now. You wouldn't really need bonuses because these rolls are pretty easy. As long as you go 7 and above, you pass.
Hey, didn't we literally miss every single assess a situation check we did last week? Mr. These are easy.
Oh, that's rough.
I can't recall. Yeah. Very rarely you'll miss all. that would be really weird. But it's 50-50. So it's not like a DC 15 or a DC 18. This would be like a DC 10.
So I get to ask one.
Yeah. So first of all, let me give you some basic information. And in addition to that, you can ask an additional question. If you had roll 10, you could ask 3. So it's a pretty wooded area. The ground is dirt. There's a well-worn footpath, but it's an area that's pretty much preserved to mimic what a forest would be like, you know, because style. Lots of shadows in here. There should be like some walkway lights and so on, but like they haven't gotten around to stringing those back up as yet. It's still kind of under construction, but the mayor wants to have a big showy thing by this date. What you are seeing off to the side is in the direction where you are hearing his voice. It's shadows. You can hear. What you can hear is, in a normal wooded area, you would hear like signs of life. You'd hear an owl hooting. You'd hear critters rustling about, something like that. You'd hear the wind through the trees. What you are hearing right now, though, is that it's really quiet. There's not much wind, and you do hear some stuff rustling about, but it doesn't sound like your normal, you know, buck-toothed, wide-eyed woodland creatures. But it's not. For now, it's just like part of the backdrop. There is a voice coming from the shadows there. There is an area of the shadows that looks a little bit darker, deeper there.
Okay. So you said there were lights that were down.
Yeah.
Are the lights active and just not strung, or are they dark?
No, they're dark. They haven't been switched on. Like, the guy is gonna come tomorrow he's supposed to come for 8 o'clock, and he comes for 12 o'clock, and it's like he's really hungover, but finally puts the fuse in, and then it lights up. Yeah. So what of those questions, what are you the most curious about?
Well, this doesn't seem like a very standard encounter, but what here can I use to illuminate him? I don't know. Because I was thinking like I could maybe suspend the lights and try to see through, but
That is a good question, actually. It's good thinking. I do like the train of thought. So I don't really want to tell you no. So okay, I have an idea. You have plant affinity, so we have not really gotten around to discussing what that means. Because in my mind, I kind of pictured you as a Pokemon. Um,
Well,
Bulbasaur.
The fuck?
Bulbasaur to be exact, in the sense that you can extend vines and you can throw razor leaves. Because you pick up power out of the playbook, yes, you pick an ability, but that's just your baseline. It's up to you to kind of develop on that and see how far you can get with that. So if you have plant affinity, there are things you can do using plants. So
I have a thought.
mhm.
What about illuminescent flowers? Can I make everything go into bloom?
You can. A simpler way I probably would have also accepted is to make the tree branches kind of grow out of the way, so you get a beam of moonlight coming down. But either one works. The flavor is up to you.
I'll make everything blue.
Cool. Yeah. So, what comes up is that the tree trunks and some of the forest floor. I think it would be really cool if you see bioluminescent fungi start to pop out.
Yeah, everything from the surface level.
Yeah. So it's pretty lit up, and what you see is a visual where the background is lit up, and the thing at the center is in shadow, whereas normally it might have been the other way around. So what this thing looks like, it looks like a tree. So think of the shadow a tree would cast in a Disney film where they want to make the trees look really scary. The head of the tree is not leaves, because I think I can give you that much. The what it is that this thing has, let's call them branches, but they're not really actually branches, growing out of its head and shoulders, kind of like how a deer would have antlers, something like that, and hanging from these antlers are bats. And it grins at the light and steps a little bit forward. So as an aside, Zenir, the silhouette of it, you saw something like this. You will be seeing something like this later on at the in your meditation space. So this thing, he speaks to you again and he says, you ran away that night. We've been looking for you for so long, ever since. Did you think you could hide from us?
I'm not the one hiding now.
Oh, I'm not hiding, Plant Man. I'm here to give you a choice. You betrayed us, you deserted us. But you know...
I think you cut out.
Oh. Let me just check my Discord. Yeah, so he says, I'm not hiding. I'm here to give you a choice. You betrayed us. You deserted us when we came through. But you know the time is coming near. And you know where your loyalties lie. What, do you think this place is going to be safe? from what's coming.
What's coming?
We are. Once
Who's
you join,
we?
And once you join with us, so will you be. What do you mean, who's we? Do not play games with me, plant man. And the some of the bats fly off of him and start circling around. You are running out of time. Choose wisely. So he recedes back into the shadows, back away from your bioluminescence, and kind of disappears, and then you hear an owl hoot, and things kind of go back to normal.
Huh.
Um,
This doesn't help my amnesia.
yeah. You see
Like,
this?
sheesh, man, I was just asking.
Yeah, it doesn't initially. Same thing I said to Karma. That's not going to be the only bit of information you get. You'll get more later on. It's just that I didn't want to open this thing with a big diatribe. So basically, what you do know is that which is a similar theme for everyone else. There are people or things that know more about what happened that night than you. That night being the night that you got transformed, which is the same night that something came through. So, just food for thought. Now, after this happens, you originally were supposed to kind of meet up with the others or check in at least. Like, would you what would be the next thing that you would do?
Well, he seems to know, or it knows a lot more than I do. Can I try to follow it?
It's gone. What I can tell you is that it's not an. It had a physical form, but it can become incorporeal if it wants to or needs to. What I will tell you is that this thing is not from this earth or plane of existence, because that is something that would have been obvious to you.
I guess I'll have to ask the outsider later.
Yeah. Right. So, same question to you guys. Right, I was about to ask that you, to remind you guys that you haven't heard from Trent for a while. But, before I do that, so like, before we leave off at Trent, so do you can't track him. At least not at this point. So is there anything else in particular that you would go to or head towards or try to accomplish or anything like that?
Is this before the lava monster?
Yeah. I would probably say that at this point you guys are in the middle of battle.
So I'm in the same park that we closed the portals and everything, right?
Yeah.
Does this thing that I just saw look like anything that might have come through the portals that we closed?
Yes, it
Before we
does.
could do it? Okay.
Yeah, because of the fact that we have an outsider, anytime I suggest that something is not from Earth, there's always this dichotomy where you guys have to wonder whether it's alien or whether it's demonic. I'm going to save you guys some time and say it's going to be usually the second option. Because you guys interfered with a portal and there was some fallout from that. In fact, your question for when the team came together, I think your question was that there were signs that there was bigger things to come. So the episode with Portal is not completely finished yet. But again, this is something that you guys would have known on some level. So let's just say that we leave you off contemplating whether to continue about your business and try to meet up with the others, right? So
Sure.
yeah. Because
I guess I was kind of staking out the forest, making sure there wasn't any other activity being stirred up.
Okay, great, excellent. So we'll leave you there. Now back at the beach house, and this is some time later. It's a scene where everyone is in a bit of shock. Because one of the things that really made me laugh, even when I was listening to the recording after, is when Karma said, "Well, I guess you guys know about Grandma now." So Karma has just been smashed through the doorway. All these psychic constructs that she put up to secure the door just was of no use. It was just a waste of time. She's smashed through the locked door to her grandma's room, across the hall, against the wall, and just kind of slides to the floor. What happens next?
I get up.
Yeah, you'd probably like get up and dust yourself off.
And then I start walking.
Yeah, Soldiers is still there. Ektar is still there. Rayak is still there as well. So where do you walk to? And you guys, yeah, go ahead.
I asked Karma, what are we dealing with?
That is such a tame way of phrasing it. That is not what I had in mind, but yeah, let's go with that.
I don't know. Or I don't know too much.
Well, you...
Alright, well, one question.
Mm-hmm.
If we hit it, are we going to hurt your grandma, or are we just going to hurt this thing?
I don't know. I don't know a lot about what Grandma is going through. I don't know a lot about what I can do to begin with.
The ghost?
Well, I think that you will know the basic situation. You'll know that there's something in her, and you know that it's a bad thing, and you do have in mind your drive is, as you said, to get it out of her. I think you mentioned put it into yourself, but I guess we can explore that at a later juncture when we get there. But you are aware of like the basic scenario, maybe not all the details like the ritual and so on, but you do know that there is something in her, it is a creature, maybe something that came through a portal earlier on.
Alright, first things first, let's keep this thing in the room. Can you get up another psychic barrier? I'll back you up with a couple of light spears.
No, it's okay.
So,
just keep that open.
So do you guys like look in there? Because like I think I had described last time that after you got blasted, Grandma was set back down on the bed, and
Right.
yeah, the things that were hovering, they fell to the ground. So there's no longer any evidence of telekinetic activity going on there.
Right.
Right. So for now, it seems to be dormant.
So that was my grandma's room.
So don't go in there then.
I guess you can now, because that's going to be my room. I'm moving her.
Okay. You're gonna do that right now?
Yep.
Do you need any help?
No. I'll be fine.
Okay, well, we'll be right out here.
And so I opened the door to my room and using psychic constructs move her over.
Yeah.
You guys want to follow me outside? I guess this is just as good a time to tell you about something.
Sure.
Alright, so I'm walking out.
Cool. Out of the room, out of the house.
House.
Alright, cool. I think at this point, Trent would have kind of found his way to you. Because since he was kind of searching to see if there's any more signs of this creature, and kind of extending his senses using his plant affinity, he would have detected the jet landing up here. So since the jet landed, he would have been headed in you guys' direction. So he would probably, as you guys come out, he would be emerging from the forest as well.
Okay. I'll head to the forest. Not that far in. Not that far in.
yeah, no problem. Are you going on your own, or where is everyone exactly?
Oh, well, I'm hoping they're still following me.
Yeah, I'm following them pretty close.
Yeah, we're all following.
Hector, you had asked last time. You had said that you would probably want to give your dad a call. You did do that. And there was what was there? Yeah. There was no answer. Just I forgot to tell you that.
All right. The call went through and everything. Just no answer on the other end, or did it?
Correct.
So I'm guessing where we are right now, a lot of grass and trees, right?
Yeah, so it's a beach house, so there's a little bit of a clearing. It's the lakeside, so there's a bit of a pebbly shore, the dock with a fishing boat tied up to it. So the forest isn't right up next to the house. There's a little bit of a clear area, probably with some sort of road at the back where you can access it by car. Maybe not a road, like a trail or something. It's a pretty nice beach house, yeah, and you have a clear area. You said you wanted to talk or tell them something. Yeah, you wanted to tell them something.
Right. So you guys might want to step back just a little bit.
Okay.
I'm gonna sit down and I'm gonna use vitality absorption to take life from trees and whatever's around me.
Oh, cool. All right. So
Rude.
I will ask for you to do unleash your powers for that. Ordinarily, I would not make a rule, but there's been some stuff happening in this forest. So let's see what happens when you try to do that. Cool. Excellent. So unleash your powers says extend your senses, roll plus 3. On a hit, you do it. On a 7 to 9, mark a condition, or the GM will tell you how the effect is unstable or temporary. I think in this particular case, you are going to mark a condition because you can sense that there is something really offbeat about the forest tonight. Like there's a presence there that is kind of throwing off your karma. So I'm going to say insecure because you sense something really wrong. And,
I want to do afraid just because of what had just happened.
Actually, yeah, that works as well. So you can do that. Cool. But other than that, you do succeed because as I said, it's a pretty standard thing. You do the vitality absorption and you have some floral vitality. Is that the correct term? Yeah, we'll go with that.
Alright. Trent's probably gonna hate me if he saw that.
Well, he's there with you guys now. He hasn't asked any questions as yet. I assume he will have some for you guys.
There's a hedge outside the house that you don't remember Grandma planting?
Alright. So if you didn't know yet, I could do that. I could I could take life, give life, usually take. And then I start walking back.
I start mumbling about to myself about only being able to make gadgets.
So
Slowly
it's,
follow them.
I don't know if you want to do this or not, but one of your team moves says when you share a vulnerability or weakness with someone, give them influence over you and ask if they honestly think there's hope for you. So that is an option if you do want to do that move.
I think we all have influence over each other already.
Yeah, it is something that can happen though. So what usually is the use of these things? Including the comfort and support and defend. These moves, think of them as your healing spells, specifically comfort and support. But I think defend gives you an option to do it as well. When you comfort and support someone, they get to remove a condition. Because conditions, you can think of them as your hit points. If you get 6 conditions, you are out of the fight. You have to either pass out or run away or be removed from the scene somehow. So to get your conditions down, one of the big ways is to do comfort and support. Some of the team moves, most of the team moves also give you an opportunity to either remove a condition yourself or remove a condition from someone else. Everyone has different team moves. So these are things that will usually come into play when you guys have conversations. You can work those in if you want to.
Can I get a link to the team moves? I might have had them, but...
Oh, right. Did I give you the playbook?
I thought it, yeah.
Yeah.
I thought it was different for everybody.
It is.
Yeah.
So the mass playbooks, that long list of playbooks, would have one of the playbooks listed there is yours, the protege. Nova, outsider. Right, so the protege is on page 17. And you'll see it has your team moves there.
Where are the playbooks at?
I just posted it on Discord.
Yeah.
Oh, did you? Okay.
A link to
Thank you.
Yeah, it's freely available from the Magpie website. The playbooks are like the heart of the game, mostly.
Yeah, the what website?
Magpie Games, the people who created it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's the link to it there. So you can keep that PDF handy. Alright, so what are you other guys doing? Because you've just seen Karma do something that there's a lot of things that can be said about what she just showed you guys, because there's like some moral implications, that kind of thing. What kind of reaction would you guys have?
I walk up to Karma. Just tap her on the shoulder and say, just remember, there aren't any bad powers. Only bad things you do with those powers.
You see, I might be doing something bad.
But you don't have to, Karma. You're stronger than your powers. They don't define what you are. You define what they are.
So I guess at this point we're at Grandma's now. Grandma's room again, right? Since we were walking back.
Yeah. So yeah, because you said you walk back inside. Yeah.
Actually, here's a good point right here. I'll just yell at everybody else. Hey guys, everybody, hang back real quick. I gotta talk to Karma.
Yeah.
We'll catch up. Look, Karma. You know how I was, about my birth, my mom and everything. What a lot of people don't know is, what nobody else knows is, I didn't inherit just her powers. Watch this. And that's what point I show what level my shadow control is. You see,
Ooh.
those powers, those are straight up jerk skeleton. But I can't let that define me. I don't show it to everyone. I don't like to use it all the time. But what you just did, hey, do your best not to do it to anybody alive, not to do it to any human. Sometimes there might even come a time where you have to do it. But until you start using it for your own greed or because you're scared, you don't have to worry about being a bad person. I know you're not a bad person because I like you and I don't make mistakes like that.
Cool.
Let's head on in.
Alright, so roll me a comfort and support because I know this would be covered as a team move as well, so I can consider it both ways. You don't have any conditions though, so let's look at the comfort and support and see if it benefits Zanair. So soldiers from soldiers' sheet, soldiers would roll mundane. Did I lose him? Hello?
Who rolls mundane?
Onyx, yes. He was comforting and supporting Karma. So he would roll
Right.
for that to see what the outcome is. Cool.
I was just clicking it and didn't realize I had to click it a second time and the second box came up.
Yeah. Alright, so comfort and support someone. When you comfort or support someone, roll plus mundane. On a hit, they hear you. They, which means karma. Karma, you can either mark potential, or you can clear a condition, or you can shift your labels. If you choose to open up to soldiers. In the sense that do you kind of accept the support he's offering you?
Oh yeah.
Alright. So you can roleplay that with a response, but yes, you do get to either you mark potential or you clear a condition or you can shift your labels.
I'm taking out the condition.
Okay, cool. Alright, and so
And
that's how
then-
comfort and support works.
yeah. So this is why I do it. I walk up to grandma, and with the life that I took, I'm passing it over to her.
Ooh. Yeah. So her cheeks have been a little sunken. She's a little pale, not doing so well. But some color does come back to her when you do that, and she seems to be resting. She still looks not well, but she seems to be just resting instead of comatose.
Right. So I've been doing this for a long time now. I know that there's something in grandma that I don't want to get out, but sorry. And the only way that it doesn't get out is by keeping grandma alive. So that's why, if Trent's here, that's why there's a lot of dead trees in the forest.
Are you guys inside, by the way? Have you guys followed?
Yeah, I think we went inside when they had hung back, I believe. That's what I did.
Alright, so everyone's in. Trent, you have just seen him suck the life force out of the plants.
I'm just shaking my head like kids these days.
Oh, yeah. When he does it, you feel something inside of you, kind of. The best way to describe it would be that you feel something inside of you bare its fangs. So you yourself personally don't have that much of a reaction to it. Out of character, that's really awesome, by the way. Excellent. This works really well with the narrative. So, in character, you would not be so much bothered by it, but you feel something inside of you. You feel like a visceral response, like a cat bearing its fangs and hissing. Like something in you has a completely different response from what you do.
Huh. Alright, so like instinctually, almost like a cat. If you guys have seen Rooster puff up, that's almost what it looks like with his leaves. Even though he doesn't intend it. But with his leaves, there's a
Yeah. I'm going to go ahead and tell you that it feels a bit like schizophrenia, as though another side of you did that. Not schizophrenia. Sorry. Multiple personality disorder. Yeah.
So there was rustling coming from Trent.
Yep.
Trent, are you aroused?
Oh man.
gonna excuse myself, but not for the reasons you think.
That's a weird fucking kink, dude.
Sorry. So, see, I do this. I don't know if what I'm doing is good, if keeping Grandma alive is good, if I'm powering up what's inside her, if I'm weakening it. I don't know.
But if she dies, then it gets out, and then what happens after that?
I don't know what happens after that. It might come after me. Might come after you guys. I don't
So
know.
the question becomes, how can we find out?
There you go.
As long if you just don't kill Grandma.
No, I mean, how can we find out what this thing really is, what its potential is, and what the potential danger is? I mean, how long can you keep your grandma alive? How much life can you suck out?
Can I do a reading the files passive move?
Let me see what that looks like. Feel free to give me the gist of it, and tell me what you have in
Uh,
mind.
Um, uh, bu- bu- bu-
When you first encounter
Through my
a monster-
mentor's resources,
Mhm.
when I encounter an important superpowered phenomenon, I roll superior on a hit. I tell the team one important detail I've learned from my studies. The GM will tell you what, if anything, seems different from what you remember.
Alright.
On a 10 plus, ask the GM a follow up question they want to answer.
All right, excellent. All right, so you're about to do that. Soldiers, did you have anything in mind as well to do? Just checking. Soldiers or Karma?
You see, there's a lot of tomes in my sanctuary,
Yeah.
and I meditate. And so that's one of my ways of trying to find out what's actually inside her. And for as long as I've been doing this, I really haven't found anything.
All right, so I'm assuming you would have been saying this to well both of them are here. Trent, you excuse yourself to go outside, so you probably won't be inside at the moment.
Mhm.
All right. Anything else, Mike? Onyx, yes. Sorry. Very good, Mike. All right. So let me. Yeah. Go ahead.
No, nothing.
All right. So before you let me see how I can frame this for you, Mike. What I will tell you, which is something you would know, specifically from been reading the files, is that your father has been interested in this cult. You are aware that it's a cult, you are aware that they are called the Templars. You are aware that your dad did have further notes on this, but it's like your dad's information is sectioned with access levels. You were given access to the base level. You have been able to get access to the next higher level, but there's a couple other levels that are still a little locked to you. But you do know that one of the things that you can access has to deal with this cult and this thing that your dad has in his systems back at his place. So these are things you would know.
Okay.
And you get to ask a follow-up question.
Secondly, can I do an assess the situation roll?
Well,
See
with
what's
been reading the files, you do get to ask a question. So what you can probably do is ask me anything. If there was any one thing in particular that you wanted to get from assess the situation, you can ask me that now
okay.
without having to roll again.
The
And
question is, the question is keeping the grandmother alive making the entity stronger?
The short answer is yes. I'm just in my head. I'm trying to figure out, in context of reading the files, if you would know this. However, yeah. So, since as it says, the GM answers honestly. So what is going to happen is that the energy that Karma is feeding into Grandma goes straight through Grandma to the entity inside of her.
Okay. So who's in the room?
I will assume
Trent
three,
is
yeah, I will assume three of you guys, yeah.
Is Trent gone? Did he go outside?
Yeah,
He's outside.
Okay.
So I'm gonna check in with him in a second.
Okay, so I say I want to say to Karma, yeah, that's definitely keeping that thing. You keep making it stronger as you're keeping your grandmother alive. That's totally what's happening.
Is there any? Sorry.
No, go ahead.
Is there any way I can check to see what type of destruction this entity has been attributed to the last time it was released?
Yes, there will be. You wanna check? Please repeat. I just wanna make sure I get the
What I want to know is I want to check the books to see if there's any history of past destruction or past atrocities this entity has been connected with.
Great. All right. So we'll do that in a second. So that will be the next thing. For now, I just want to check in with Trent. So like Trent is outside, rustling away. He's had enough time so that he's decent now. What are you doing next?
Well, you said it felt like dual personality, right?
Yeah.
Is there any way to did it feel like it was another sentience? So I'm starting to feel like the other thing is actually part of me.
No, it's another sentience. That kind of animosity, that kind of hatred, that is not anything you have ever felt before. No matter how angsty you think your little teenage mind is. That's something different. The thing that accosted you in the woods was speaking not to you, Trent, he was speaking to something that he recognizes and that recognizes him. So by your reaction just now, you kind of are getting the feeling that there's more to you than meets the eye. And you do remember that you are missing some time. The events of that night are lost to you.
Okay, I get. Has it calmed down?
Yeah, it has.
All right, I guess I'll go back inside if it's not freaking out.
Give me an assess the situation. Let's see how much you can figure out about this thing.
And that is superior.
On your character sheet, on the left hand, where the labels are, underneath the labels, they list the powers that they're using.
Ah, I see it. Okay.
Yeah. So that way you don't have to keep checking the particular move. You can just look to see if it's listed there.
Damn, this is a very common roll, and I have -1. Nope.
Alright, so you get to mark potential, which is good. It's like your consolation prize.
Yay.
Do I still get to give you anything for that? No, I know you are done. But I think that what I just gave you is pretty good in terms of I think it is something that you would still have been able to kind of figure out when you came outside and did that quick, what the hell is going on with me kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you would have been able to figure out that much. So it's all good. And you go back inside. And when you go back inside, Mike, sorry, Soldiers is looking at the tomes. So, Soldiers, you can probably give me another assess the situation. By the way, you all have another move called PSD Mask, which is great for telling if someone is lying or trying to discern what if they are hiding things from you, or discern things that are that you're not seeing at the moment but are just beneath the surface. So like if you get the feeling that there's something more going on, that's one of the things you can probably do. But depending on the situation, I will either ask for PSD Mask or assess the situation. PSD Mask is usually done on people. Damn, you guys are making a lot of hits. Okay. Alright, so Soldiers, you there are a lot of tombs, and unlike the outsider, you are able to read the labels, and you are able to flip through some of these. So assess this situation. Let me see. I think you get to ask 3 questions. Is that correct? Oh, on a 10 plus, ask 2. So what questions do you have in mind to ask? And let me see if I can answer those and maybe fill in some more gaps also.
I want to know atrocities, natural disasters, or other things of destruction that this entity has been connected to. And if possible, I would like to know the entity's name.
Alright. So, the short version of this is that there are books documenting some important incidents. And I'm just ordering it in my mind, sorry. So like what happened is that the book that you land on, which seems to have been like well worn, one that has been used most frequently, is a book that documents a particular demon, a really powerful one, that has a demon that has minions and lieutenants and so on. it is Karma in the room with you as well? Yeah, well, so because it's classically it has been known to have 7 lieutenants, which would correspond to what Karma saw in in her vision. Although I don't think she described what she saw. So you'll probably have to do a PSM mask if you want to pursue that. Now the last part of the book deals with when it's supposed to appear again, which with some quick math and some estimation you'll realize it coincides with the incident that happened in the park a little while ago. What did we say? It was like 2 months? Yeah. So you're pretty certain that this is the thing that is kind of at the center of this whole mess. And the book is able to make that prediction because this thing has come through. It has a pattern of coming through. The portal that it comes through is in different places according to alignment of celestial bodies, that kind of thing. And according to some other factors which have to do with outsider would probably have some insight into that or not. But so they have in different places. It hasn't always been at the park, but there was one incident not too long ago. Let's say, Hector, how old is your dad? And how old are you? I should have that information actually. Let me check.
Oh, old am I?
Hector.
I'm 16.
Oh, I'm 19.
Wow, you are old. So let's say about 2 decades ago, there was an incident where it came through 2 decades ago, but it was stopped. And there was another incident where it came through, which is I will say about 3 generations ago, and it was also stopped then by the book doesn't really know who exactly it was stopped by, but it was some sort of paranormal or extra normal intervention that caused it. And it does mention that it came through at an Indian reservation or near an Indian reservation. It was like a volcano that was on Indian lands. Right, so these are that's pretty much a summary of what the book tells you. So the book is like trying to document the history of this particular demon.
Alright, but no name then, right?
For the demon itself, we can probably agree on a name now, out of character. What do you guys want to call this thing?
Well, if you don't feel like naming it, I'll just ask a second question.
Yeah, no
You
problem.
could call you could call it Blackheart, wasn't that what somebody said?
Yeah. I
Probably
know.
just joking with that thing.
Yeah, I know Karma's thing is ink, but I think that would be their name for it. I don't think it would be its actual name. So at this point, let's say that they have a name for it, which is what I'm kind of asking for. Like what the book chooses to refer to it as. Because the person who wrote the book wouldn't have gotten like an interview. He's doing this based on research, that kind of thing. So they would be referring to it as something. So you guys can think about that. Now, for assess the situation, Mike, there are 5 questions there that you have to choose 2 from. So which 2 would...
Wait a minute, where's that at?
In Roll20, one of the handouts, you'll see that I have put all the moves as handouts that you can look at individually. The move that you just did was assess the situation.
Oh, okay. So, what type of danger is it if it comes back, or what is the greatest? What is in the greatest danger?
What here is in the greatest danger? At this particular point in time, there's no danger here right now specifically because the incident has just passed. However, continuing forward, Karma is not exactly safe because Karma probably hasn't come to grips with the fact that this is not Grandma doing it under the influence of something. This is something in Grandma that is acting on its own. So no matter how much he loves his grandma, it's not going to stop this thing from acting and doing its thing.
And of course, how can we best end this quickly?
How old is Grandma?
Yeah. Um.
That's true. We might not have to.
She's a sextagenarian.
The thing inside of Grandma is a lieutenant, and the main threat is who the lieutenants work for. This thing has been stopped twice in recent history. You guys need to
Yeah, but I
find
didn't
out
ask
how.
what the biggest threat was. I asked how we could end it quickly.
Right, no, in terms of ending it quickly, is to address that threat. You need to make sure that it can't come through. Because the lieutenants are symptoms of that occurrence. He sends the lieutenants first.
All right, guys. Looks like we're gonna have to figure out who these 7 lieutenants are, neutralize them, and hopefully that'll keep that demon where it is. And maybe you don't have to kill off the entire ecosystem of Halcyon City.
So we can't do anything for Grandma right now. We got to kill everybody else first.
Capture.
Capture everybody else. Sorry.
Alright, so at this point in time, it's probably late. So you guys have had a hell of an evening. You guys have had battle. You've had strangers come at you in the woods and do something, and Karma has learned to fly, both under his own power and under Grandma's. So, are you guys ready to call it a night for now? Or is there anything else anyone would like to do before they go to bed?
I want to call home again and see if I can get an answer.
Excellent point. Just trying to figure out if there's any particular move that would apply to this. Because the phone rings, again, same thing. There's no answer.
Okay.
Which, to you, is unusual.
Yeah. Do I have like a communicator with him like I do with everybody else?
Yes, of course you would. No doubt about that.
But is that still not giving me an answer?
Alright, so you try the communicator. What type of communicator is it? Like, what kind of interface does it have? That kind of. I just want to get a picture of what kind of information it will give you. Does it have like a touchscreen interface, like a cell phone or?
Oh, no. I mean, I guess kind of like Robin from Young Justice, how he's got that kind of wrist thing where the computer pops out.
Yeah. Alright, so what it does, give me an assess the situation. Cool. Alright, so it does have like like a beeper. It may not have a full screen display, but it does have like little LEDs that would light up for certain things.
Okay.
There's an LED that comes on that signifies that the node that you are trying to reach is not on the same network segment as you are. So what questions would you ask me? What question would you ask me? Because I think it's just one question you get to ask from that list, and let me answer that and see if I can fill in some more information for you.
Okay. And we're talking about getting a hold of my mentor, or are we
Yeah.
still talking about Graham?
Yeah, getting hold of your mentor.
Yeah. What here can I use to contact him to try like another or
Your best bet
find information?
is to check home.
Okay.
Yeah. Right. So
Okay.
because what is happening is that yes, all the communicators are connected, but certain network segments can be firewalled from others. So for instance, the communicators that you gave to the team will not be able to access his private communications with his business. So there are protections and so on. So he's on a network segment. His communicator is on a network segment that is reserved for his own private business.
And I wouldn't even have connection. I wouldn't have a connection to that.
Well, from your communicator here now, you probably don't have the options, but you would have options to examine that situation at home, because you would have his
Okay.
systems at your disposal, that kind of thing.
Okay. Is there? This is not this one. Okay. So, okay. I kind of gather everyone together if everyone's not already together, and I tell them the situation, and kind of have to go back home. I would rather go in the morning if you guys want to come with me, or is there something like? Do we have something planned tomorrow already?
I mean, not necessarily. As far as I figured, we were going to start going after these lieutenants. But if you're telling me your dad's gone, yeah, we got to figure that out first. Especially considering I plan on, maybe borrowing your computer a thing or two to try to get down to these guys. He doesn't disappear. We can't have big heroes disappearing. We can do something about it. We will. You sure you want to wait till morning?
Well, I don't know. What does everybody else think?
Well, if you need it right now, got it.
For now, you guys are safe at the sanctuary. Nothing's gonna happen. Whatever has happened, it's pretty much done
Okay.
happening. Yeah.
I say, look. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to blame you guys. All right. No arguments. That's what I like to hear.
Alright. Alright, so you so you bunk down here for tonight. Is everyone okay for the night here? And we can
So he's not leaving?
No, yeah, we're going now, aren't we?
Oh, we're going now. Okay.
Alright, cool. Alright, so that's everyone,
Alright
right?
then.
Yeah. You teenagers don't sleep.
Yeah. I
Alright,
think that's
so
going to be a mistake.
alright, so you are going to have to tell them where you want to go. And that kind of
Yeah, I don't even really remember where it is. It's like a secret entrance somewhere.
I'll let him fly the thing.
Yeah.
because
Alright, let's do that.
because they wouldn't know that you have a secret base.
Yeah, that's right. So I'll have to get in the secret base and then unblindfold him.
Yeah, and you guys are hearing for the first time that he has a secret base.
Oh yeah, by the way, I have a secret base. That's why you need to be blindfolded.
You too?
Yep. We will get secret bases. It's not my secret base, though, to be honest with you. It's my father's mentor's secret base. So, I really hope he doesn't kick my ass for this.
What's the worst you could do? Make him do some laps, some push-ups. Be all right.
Can I just...
Hey, I got an idea.
Team.
Why don't you invent a holographic device and you can throw a mountain in front of your base and then we won't actually know where it is.
I'm assuming it's somewhere in the city. You said it was like underneath a building or something.
This is my team
Yeah,
power. Team move.
cool.
I don't know if I just fulfilled that or not.
Do you... Okay, tell them a secret about your mentor. So you mentioned that he's your father, which is a pretty big secret. So you definitely
And I
have
was
that.
afraid that he was going to kick my ass.
Yeah. So yeah, that does count.
Wait, What's your name again?
What's that?
Your dad's superhero name. What is it again?
Oh, Christ, I don't know. Oh, Peneus.
Yeah, and you would have heard Del Toro say that name. Del Toro mistook Hector for Paneas. So by connecting those dots, you know that Del Toro knows who Paneas is. And you would have gleaned that, as Del Toro said, Paneas and Del Toro were not supposed to be seen in the same place again because of some reasons.
So, just a little question as a character. What is the team? What is the,
Alright, so
at the end of my thing?
how team works. Team is a way to boost your roll. Think of it as rolling with advantage. In the sense that you get to add 1 to your roll. So if you roll a 6, you can use a team and bump it up to 7.
Okay.
The way you use a team is by if someone assists you, they explain how they assist, and their assistance allows you to use 1 from the team pool. Because it's no longer a solo effort, it's like a team effort now. You're being assisted.
So, does everybody have access to it?
Yeah, everyone has access to it.
Okay. And who's keeping track of that?
There is a handout I use. You see the one up at top that says team pool? So I'll just put it as 2 teams. Periodically, as time goes by, the team pool gets reset to 1.
Okay.
But for now, it's at 2. In terms of the influence, how influence works is that if there's a situation where you give influence to someone who already has influence over you, then that person gets to shift your labels in accordance with how they see you.
Right. Okay.
So since your team move lets you give influence, who in particular? I mean, you told this, you're revealing this to everyone, so I guess it
Yeah.
applies to everyone. How many people have influence over you?
I don't know. Probably everyone.
I already had influence over him.
Yeah.
I think we all do.
Okay. So I think in this case, you guys can kind of come to an agreement on what labels he shifts. He shifts one up and another one down. Because this is going to reflect how your view of him changes now that you have seen that he has a secret base. So you know his he gets some points for that, and then there's he revealed some stuff about his relationship with his father. So how does your view of him as a group adjust? The implications of this, by the way, are that when your labels shift, your labels are what you use to roll for things. So, for instance, if your danger goes down 1, then you are going to be at 1 less when you roll to engage a threat.
What happens if you go above 3?
If you are at 3 and your label tries to shift upward, what happens is that it does not shift. Instead of shifting, you get a condition. So like if someone praises you, comfort and support, and they give you praise, they tell you, you know, that you're this great superhero, and they try to shift something that's already at 3. So by telling you you're a great superhero, they would probably be trying to raise your freak maybe. And if your freak is already at 3, instead of shifting labels, you would gain a condition. So like I would probably suggest in that situation that you gain insecure, because they've put all this pressure on you now to and you have to kind of live up to their expectations.
Yeah.
So as a group, you guys, how would you shift Ektar's labels?
I mean, I don't know. I'm not shocked that he has a secret base. The fact that his partner was his father, yeah, nothing for me. I don't know. Nothing would change at all as far as I'm concerned. What do I care if it's his dad and if he has a secret base? It's not a big deal.
I suppose the thing of interest here would be the fact that he's afraid his dad is gonna kick his ass.
Mundane up.
Yeah, you know, because it's a pretty
Yeah, sure. Mundane goes up because he's gonna get his ass kicked by his dad just like anybody else would.
yeah.
I guess I would fully imagine that if you were in a situation like that with your father also being your boss, and you let them anywhere near the Batcave, he would try to kick your ass. So, yeah.
And what would go down?
Maybe freak.
Yeah. I would probably say either freak or danger. So, because danger, if you realize that even though he's got some cool gadgets, he can still get his ass kicked. Freak.
I would
if
still
you
say
are going
freak
along with
because
him.
literally,
Yeah.
if he's bringing us into the Batcave,
Yeah.
that's a pretty high, dangerous, risky thing to do
Mm-hmm.
because he's going to get his ass kicked. So let's lower freak because Mundane raises because he's just like any other kid,
Yeah.
and freak goes down because he's not
just
any
like
different than
everybody
anyone
else.
else.
Alright, so
So,
my
yeah.
Just like
yeah.
everybody else.
Cool. So Ekta, on your sheet you can make those changes, and
Yep.
those changes are going to affect your rules in future
Okay.
unless it gets shifted again. Labels will shift pretty often in this game. it's a very dynamic thing. Your levels are always shifting, and you're always gaining conditions and losing conditions. So that ebb and flow is what mimics the kind of roller coaster that you guys are going through as teenagers, physically, emotionally, all of that. You guys are an unstable bunch. You're not fully formed individuals as yet. Alright, so I assume you guys have gotten to the base. Take us through it, Hector. Like, what is the approach? What does this look like?
Well, I guess.
I'm immediately
say
trying
there
to touch a button I shouldn't try to touch.
Did you say there was an airplane or something like that? Or I was going to fly there?
A translucent purple airplane that you guys are all in, courtesy of Karma.
Okay. So,
Which may not be very secret, by the way. Just thought you.
well, if we're going to go in the airplane entrance, which is in a different spot. It's on
So do you
like some
guys have
cliff
to land on the
face.
street?
No, because it's going to be on like a cliff face. You know what I mean? And like the door will open and we'll just kind of land in
Okay, great.
in the side of.
Oh, so it is kind of like a bat cave. Who had that?
Yeah, I guess it kind of is. Yeah.
Some show I used to watch, and that was the thing. It's like the side of a mountain would open. SWAT cats came out of a volcano. Anyway, so you guys are inside.
It sounds like a dwarf thing.
It's a little bit like the dwarf thing. Like the ceilings are quite high.
Yeah, so
okay.
Yeah.
I guess I don't know. I guess we land, and I take everybody's blindfold off and say, "Here we are," and just go get some information. We might be able to find out some more information on Nomad Demon too.
Alright, so I assume that you'd have like a little supercomputer.
Yeah.
So let's see you go at this thing. So like, what sort of information are you looking for specifically? Like,
First,
yeah,
I want to find out what's the last thing he was looking at. Is there any like notes or indication of where he went or anything like that?
Okay, so what you would probably do, because you would know how to do this, you do go into the directory tree, and there is the part of the system files that has the shortcuts for recent files. So like you check the cache then to see what was loaded into memory recently, and usually it's stored as shortcuts pointing to where the actual file is. You do click on the last few entries, and it's a section of the storage that has been encrypted, and it comes up asking for authorization.
Can I try to hack it?
Absolutely. So I
How do I do that?
believe, let me just take a look at something to see what applies to this. One. Alright.
Just type in his birthday or something, it'll work.
I believe that PSD mask applies here. Because you're trying to get into your father's secret archives. Secret even from you in a secret place. So what you can do is you can roll that for me, and let's see.
Do I have any bonuses or negatives?
Would you want? I want to ask one. Yes, I will give you a +1 because you have tried to do this before. You rapscallion.
Oh.
Alright, so you get to mark potential.
Yes, so I'm full on potential.
Yeah. Oh, cool. You are? I didn't notice that. So what happens when your potential fills? Let's deal with that now so you guys can see what happens. Every time you fill those 5 potentials, it clears and you go back down to 0. And those 5 potential now allow you to choose another move. So let me just pull up your playbook, the legacy. Alright, so you see on the legacy playbook where it says advancement.
It's mentor. Mentor.
Oh,
playbook.
sorry. Protege. I am mixing up my mics just all over. Right, so protege. Right, under protege, on the first page of your playbook, that's page 17, you will see advancement. You see that?
Yep.
Alright, so you get to choose one of those things above the line. You can take another move from your playbook. You can unlock your moment of truth. You can add +2 to the label your mentor embodies or denies. You can choose up to 4 more resources from your mentor. Rearrange your labels as you choose and add +1 to a label. Those things.
Okay. If I add +2 to my label, my mentor embodies or denies.
That's danger, is it?
Yes.
Great, yeah. So you can, for your advancement on your sheet, you can copy and paste it. I'll copy and paste it for you. So on advancements, I click add, and then from the book, I say copy. So at a glance, we'll know that you took an advancement. Peace. Right. And I have not shifted it for you. You can go ahead and shift your danger up by 2, which would put you at +1, I think.
Yep.
Right. Excellent. And that is how you advance in this game. So everyone's advancement under their playbook, everyone has advancements that they can take. So that's why rolling low and missing is not such a bad thing. You do get some things out of it. So what is going to happen here is that a display is going to come up, right? And it's going to be a recording of your father's voice. And I don't really want to do an impression of it because I would probably murder it. But I'm going to tell you basically what it is, right?
Why don't you just go direct message me and I'll say it for you.
Oh yeah, that's very good. So 1 second.
I was mostly joking.
Okay, let me give you the bullet points. That's 1.
Really, boy? That type of encryption? Birthdays? Honestly. Who do you think I am, your grandma? Also, you're sloppy, kid. I knew all the other times you tried to hack, and of course I go ahead and made my system a little bit stronger just in case you tried to come again. Seriously, either become a better thief or quit trying to steal. Otherwise, quit wasting time. I don't know what it was you were looking for, but since it says for not your eyes only, it means exactly that.
Okay.
Alright, and that's the third thing.
So is there anything else besides the computer?
If you want to get into these files, like I said, either become a better thief, become a better listener, or just quit getting on my nerves.
So what this is there's a move that I've labeled rejecting influence. So anytime someone who has influence over you, usually an adult or a villain, because most villains are adults, and in this particular case, your villains have been around for centuries in the hell dimension. So adults generally have influence over you guys because you guys are teenagers, and they will do something which is labeled in the book as telling you who you are and how the world works. So Ekta, your father, is doing this. He's telling you what he sees your place in the world is, and he's going to try to shift your mundane up and your danger. Wow, it seems awful to hit you with that after you just raised it. He's going to shift your freak down. He's going to shift your mundane up and your freak down. Now, the reason for those two shifts is that he's acutely aware that he does not have any superpowers and that all his abilities come from his gadgets and so on. So he knows that it is only his training that kind of gives him the edge against the things he currently comes up against. So he sees you as someone who is not yet on that level. So he sees you as really mundane and not extraordinary. So now, as you see under rejecting influence, you can reject his influence and what he's trying to do. If you accept his view of you, then you can go ahead and do the label shift. According to
that's fine.
Yeah, he decides.
Okay.
Or you can resist his influence, in which case you roll. And if you roll, if you roll and you roll well, then you get some options there. Okay, so alright, so the label shift happens, your freak goes down, your mundane goes up, and your condition, what conditions do you have so far?
I don't have any.
Alright, so this sounds like insecure to me, so I'm gonna say that that's the one.
Whoa, wait. Do I get a condition either way?
Yeah, you do.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
If you accept, you don't get the condition. You just get the label shift. But the benefit to resisting, to trying to reject his influence, is that if you pass, you get to shift your own labels. Or you also have the option to cancel their influence and take +4 against them. So if you roll well, you can choose that he no longer has influence over you.
Or I get a condition.
If you miss,
Like,
you get a condition.
So if I accept the shift, then I'm gold.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I'm gonna do.
Should I allow you to take back your roll? Actually, because you didn't properly understand it, so I can't
No.
hold you to it. Yeah. All right, but look
That
at the
roll
roll.
was
In the
that roll was
handout.
for the hack.
Oh, my mistake. I didn't. I mixed that up. So if you look in the handouts, you'll see one of the moves is called rejecting influence. That's the one I'm referring to.
No, I think he's saying that in this situation, if Robin tried to break into the Bat computer and then Batman laid him out and reamed him out, he'd pretty much say, you know what, I do have to become better.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's good. So your label shift will happen, your freak goes down 1, and your mundane goes up 1. So you must be feeling pretty forget the word.
Average.
Yeah, average. Yeah, that's the way to describe it with that exact tone of voice. Just average. The files are there though, and your father is seeing it as a bit of a test whether you can get in. So, like, do you want to try again? Is there anyone that can assist you with this?
Yeah, that's what I'm asking. Is there anybody who knows anything about hacking computers?
I don't know anything about hacking computers, but I know something about you.
Cool.
All right. Well, anything will help.
Listen, he got mad at you for trying like the most basic hacking things. He also got mad at you for leaving a trail. But the main thing he said was, be a better thief. Who was his most feared or most respected, whatever you want to call it, enemy? Try that.
Okay. Do I get a bonus or penalty on this?
Yeah. I'll give you a +2 bonus just to see what happens.
Hey.
Well, look at that. All right, so PSD mask. Let's look at it so I can see how many things I can give you, because I want to give you a few things here. When you PS the mask, roll mundane. On a 10 plus, ask 3. On a 7 to 9, ask 1. So what do you intend to do? How can I get your character to? These questions under PSD mask will be pertaining to your father. So you can ask me some stuff about him now if you want to. 3 of those questions.
Where is he?
Well, it's not one of the questions. How do I handle that?
Oh, is there a list of questions?
Yeah. Under the handouts, one of the moves is called PSD mask in Rule 20. So you just double click on that and it gives you the full text of the move.
So, what are you really planning?
Yeah, go ahead.
What do you intend to do? And what do you want me to do?
Right. Alright, so with those questions and with that really good roll, I can give you a lot of information here now. So you get into the computer, you crack the code. The encryption key, it's not a password screen that you have to type in a password. It's an encryption key that you have to use and run an algorithm which turns a bunch of numbers into usable data. A bunch of numbers into another bunch of numbers, and then you do it again. It's like 4 levels of encryption. He's pretty good at what he does, honestly. I mean, he's a prick about it, but you can't deny the man's skill. So what it is, right, is that you find yourself in a section of the hard drive, and some files come up, but the format of the files is not how he keeps his files. These are copies of files that have been done by what looks to be a government organization or that has a lot of power, or a private organization that has a lot of money. It looks pretty intense. Let me see, let me try and address the questions themselves as quick as possible. What are you really planning, and what do you intend to do? The files have to do with a project called Hardjackers. Right. it's a team of operatives that were assembled for a very specific purpose. I know. I came up with the name for very different reasons previously, and now it's kind of tied in there and difficult to get out. I'm just digging myself into a bigger hole with that explanation. Alright. Alright, what he's planning is has to do with this team. Because the team failed and it disbanded. However, you see that he has been looking up the members of the team. So I'm going to give you a rundown on that in a second. Planning. Right, so he's planning to continue on a course of action along the lines of what this team's original mission was. Right? And in terms of what he intends to do, he has been looking at the individual operative files because he's intending to track down whoever is left. Now, let me get... and what was the last question? What do you want me to do? Well, the GM has to answer truthfully. So, truthfully, he does not want you to know about this, and he does not want you anywhere near it, and he does not want anyone involved in this to know about you. You remember...
What was the original mission?
Right, so let me get into that. But before I get into the details, let me just remind you, Del Toro, remember his reaction to you when he kind of muttered to himself, "Oh right, Paneas had a son," and he seemed kind of bitter about that. So just bear that in mind. I'll get to that just now. So I'm looking for my notes on this. The team wasn't a very large team, so I'll give you some of the highlights from them. Crap, man, I wrote this thing down. Where is it? Okay, here we go. So there was, for instance, one of the members was Hardcase. He had abilities based around invulnerability. He could take a punch. There was Hardcore. He had some kind of nuclear type abilities, like at his heart was some kind of fusion core. Hard Time, he had anachronistic abilities, and Hardwire. So these are the main ones, the ones that catch your attention. So let's say there were probably about 7 of them, maybe 6. It's kind of like an A-team kind of situation. It's not a lot of them. Alright,
Okay.
you see on Hardcore and Hard Time, you see Deceased, killed in action. They died when the mission failed. Under Hardcase, the picture of Hardcase is Del Toro. And under Hardwire, the picture of Hardwire is your father.
Okay, who is Del Toro again?
Del Toro was the guy who was getting his ass handed to him on the ceiling of the on the roof of the building. The one who mistook you for your father.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Anything else I could clear up for you here? And of course your friends are in the room, so like you can probably give them an idea of what this all means. Because I believe everyone would recognize Del Toro. Probably except for Trent.
Right. Okay. So
yeah.
I explained them what you just said, and I said, so I don't know. I mean, should we just keep going on with this grandmother thing? It doesn't look like he wants me to do anything.
There are some notes about what the mission was.
Alright,
I no, I wouldn't say
I'll look at
notes.
those too.
So I'll say like in the files for each character, for each operative, like especially the ones who are deceased. The reason why you know that they died in the mission itself is because there were like some little details regarding to manner of death, that sort of thing, and the dates that you are seeing that they died at in action on that mission coincides with the date that soldiers saw in the book for the previous time that this thing started to try to come through.
Okay. So the mission is related to what we're dealing with.
Yeah. These people were involved, and they were involved in trying to stop. Yeah, I'll just tell you, like they were the good guys on this, at least in a hard and fast sense. They were involved in trying to intervene in the demon coming through. What I will tell you is that that wasn't their direct purpose. They were sent there to try and capture the portal technology. What it turns out was that it wasn't technology. It was ritual, magic, and arcane forces, that kind of thing. They came upon lieutenants, and 3 of them died, and they were able to take out 3 lieutenants.
Three lieutenants. Okay, that's good.
Mm-hmm. This would be phrased differently in the files, of course, but that's
right,
what you get from it.
So, with the lava guy, it would just be like one of the minions, right? One of the demon minions. Like the lava guy we fought on top of the roof.
There is someone who can tell you that.
I asked that person.
That would be probably the guy who was trading punches with him.
Okay. Do I know how to get a hold of that guy?
All right.
Does anyone know how to get a hold of that guy?
Del Toro should be still hanging out with those guys who definitely in no way are S.H.I.E.L.D.
Oh, right. Okay.
At this point in time, that's a very good guess. At this point in time, you can't really be sure. He would not stick around with S.H.I.E.L.D. just in general, because superheroes in general, they don't hang around with the cops. You know, because
I'm sorry, the lawyer's tapping you on your shoulder. You can't call them S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah, ages. So
is there any way? I can find him like on the computer? Like, do I have a tracking?
He is a bronze. Oh crap, man! He is a bronze. No, not you. There's like engines outside. He is a Bronze Age hero, so he does pop up in the city from time to time. He's around. It's Halcyon City. Heroes are a thing. They have been a thing for generations. People are accustomed with having, heroes fighting on top of their rooftops and Tyrannosaurus Rexes smashing through libraries and teenage punks ripping up the park.
Is there like a superhero chat room or something like that where you can leave a message or something?
I don't know if you would have access to that. I don't know if there would be. I mean, there probably would be. Even if there was something like that, it probably wouldn't be universal.
Maybe like just a public forum or something.
In terms of locating Del Toro, your best bet is to probably ask around the city, because that's kind of what I was getting at when I said that it's normal. So it's like, he would be seen around the city doing his thing. So like, you kind of ask around, and people would be eager to say, well, oh, I saw Del Toro here and there, kind of thing, and it's like, oh, he saved my Pompec.
I asked everybody if they know what demons are weak against? Like, is there any special thing demons don't like?
What do you think, Karma?
Something holy, I guess. Holy water? A cross? A priest?
You're following demons there?
Can I do a checking out the files then?
Yeah, you can do that.
Okay. So what is it that demons would be weak against? And a better question is, can I make a gadget out of it or into it, whatever?
Those are both good questions. Do the roll. Let me see. Let me see what happens. Let me see what I can give you on this.
Superior.
All right. I have an idea. Just let me just check one thing. Outsider. There is reference in the files to remember this team was sent under the assumption that it was technology creating the portals. The reason why the company had that assumption is because they had been measuring a very specific set of EM signatures. So it's like a burst of electromagnetic, it's a burst of energy, it's arcane energy of course, but it manifests in an electromagnetic form that can be disrupted. So however, because of the very intricate pattern that the portal energy manifests as, it would be an extremely complicated bit of equipment to be able to accurately cancel out the electromagnetic emanations as they are produced. So it's like how, I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with the concept of waves and things being in phase and out of phase. Basically, it makes electromagnetic noise that is the direct opposite of the electromagnetic noise of the portal. So it cancels out the portal.
Okay. So
there were preliminary specifications for a device like that. What they had on them were like prototypes that were completely untested, that sort of thing. At this point, the outsider will kind of recognize the concept. So between you and him, you guys can make something. You will not be able to make it right away. So we'll say that you get started on it in the lab, and we'll see how it goes as time passes by, how close you are to completion.
Okay.
Alright, so let's look at what you guys have so far. You have a lot of information. You have some things have happened. What so far you have not found out more about, and how do you guys think you should go about looking into this situation? Your dad is missing. He has gone on this thing, and it is clear from the files that he is in over his head. So he is in danger.
Do I know where he is?
How? Yes. I think you'll have an idea. Yeah, I think you will have an idea. You do find some logs, some device logs from when his communicator logs onto the network. There is an initial handshake, like a modem handshake, that happens every time it connects, and that information is stored in a log, and you can access that. And it's been in a couple places around the city so far. So it is something that there is a signal you can track. Roll me and assess the situation. Let me see how well you can track this thing. 10, full hit. Right, so it's in intervals that are pretty consistent. So it has not like lost signal or anything. And it seems to be headed towards it's like the park area, but it's like in one of the buildings around the park area. The projection is that it's headed towards the library.
What do you think, guys?
I don't know, Trent. What do you say?
Oh, just one last piece of information. He has been doing similar research on this entity. He calls it entity, but it's the same demon. It's the same. Let's call it the Nomad King. And he does make a reference to the book that is in Karma's library. And he does make reference to the incident at the Indian reservation. Like he was backtracking from his encounter with it, backtracking to see if it had appeared previously, which is ironically similar to what you guys had thought to do. Alright, so what do you guys do with this information? Like, what are your thoughts on it? Do you guys compare notes?
I think I need a rest.
Cool.
I could agree to that.
Alright. So, you guys would probably go to your separate homes, I'm assuming. At least, I think Trent said he still lives at home. Do you? Trent? Which is the transformed. Oh, is that why everyone was so quiet? Did Discord...
Testing?
Yeah.
No,
there
it's
you go.
working.
Audio issues.
Yeah,
Sorry
Discord
about
has
that.
been so quiet. So that's why everyone else was so quiet. God damn it. Alright. So, just to check with you, you still live at home, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so you guys would probably you guys would probably have to go home for the night. You would your family, your mother, I think you said is the supportive one. She would be wondering where you are. And Karma, you go home as well, right? To the beach house, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Right. So we'll get back to you in a second. Mike, I assume you have a place you stay at as well?
Yeah, deluxe apartment in the sky.
Excellent, if indeed. Um, Hector, you would bunk down here because this is kind of your home, really, I would assume.
He went AFK too.
Yeah, and the outsider would have his place, I think. So everybody kind of
Outsiders with me.
Okay, cool. So outsiders with you. That's a little
What did soldiers ask me though?
if you.
Oh, nothing.
Yeah.
I'll just ask you what you wanted to do because nobody said they wanted to do anything.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, since I hadn't heard you talking like half an hour, I figured
Yeah.
maybe I'll try to get involved in the story.
Yeah. All your issues. All right. So let's just do one thing and then we'll skip some time. Karma. So I assume you take the jet. You land.
I'm doing wings this time.
Cool. Cool. So you fly and you land just by the woods. And I'm trying to consider exactly how this is going to happen because outsider is not with you. Yeah, let's go with that. Outsider is not with you. Like he would have. I'm going to say that he kind of hung around with Hector because they have decided to get started on that device.
Okay.
Alright. Because otherwise this would be kind of really weird. So you do
We're
that.
down a couple people, aren't we?
We are missing.
What happened to Gildow?
He has been gone from the Discord group for a while.
Yeah, Gildow dropped out of Roll 20 in general, family problems.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Yeah, he dropped out of this. He dropped out of. Wait, no, not Gildow. Yeah, Gildow.
Yeah.
No, somebody
Which is
else.
Eric.
Down.
Yeah.
Hold on.
That's not right. Gildow's still around, but he just isn't around.
This Gildow.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the guy. He was.
So I was
all-
thinking of Arrow. Arrow's the one who disappeared.
Yeah, there we disappeared.
So Gildow should still exist, but I guess he just wasn't excited by Session 0 and hasn't shown back up since then.
He's not on the list, is he?
Yeah, he dropped out entirely off of Discord and the game as well. So I think.
Okay,
Yeah,
so there is no more bull.
yeah,
so-
there's no more bull.
So we'll just act like there never was a bull.
Yeah. Because,
Well, damn it, I didn't know that.
Well, he wasn't.
Yeah,
here
he
for
hasn't been
session
back
one.
since Session 0.
Yeah, he wasn't here for session 1, so it's like he didn't really there's no retcon to be done for him in any case. So it's like really nothing did happen with him. So just this one last thing and then we'll skip to the next day. So Karma, as you land with your wings, I assume like you fold them away or something. I'm thinking so it'll probably be like an Archangel wings kind of situation.
Uh-huh.
Right, cool. So you land in the little clearing, the beach house is there, and from the woods behind you, two arrows come flying out, and they land on either side of you. It's basically warning shots. And you turn around, and there's a figure there. This figure is in armor. It's classical armor. I don't know if classical is good. It's like
Medieval.
yes, it's medieval armor. Right? It has a light shield, and on the
God damn
shield,
it, Alex.
that's karma now. So on the shield, just to be sure of the impact of this, you guys remember the symbol that we discussed for the cult, right?
Yep.
It was a Rosicrucian cross with an eldritch eye in the center, right? This
Yeah,
person-
like when it appears on people, it glows and then they explode. Oh, wait, that's the wrong game.
Wrong game.
Yeah, so the let me see if I can I shouldn't have done that. Yeah. Anyway, I'll get it as I'm speaking. So what this is basically is not the cult symbol, but it is really close. And you know the cult has never been known to wear medieval armor. The person does have on a helmet. I will go ahead and say that you can tell it's female. What you do see on the shield and on her vestment over the chainmail, over the armor, is just the Rosicrucian cross. There's no eldritch eye on it.
Hello?
She nods and she kind of looks at you. Just give me 1 second. I just want to make sure.
It's the Freemason.
Yeah, that's what I was checking because I want
So
to
just
know
his mom.
Yeah, this will work. This will work really well. It's not the one I pictured, but this will work just fine. So in the center of it is a rose. It's not the eldritch eye. It's not the demonic one that you are familiar with. And so she just flat out asks you, she says to you, there's something I need to know, and I need an answer from you one way or the other. What exactly is your purpose? Before you speak, like as you're about to speak, she does interrupt again and say, be careful with your answer. Do not lie to me.
You see, ma'am? I'm not sure if that's rude, but
Me and Mama's fine.
No, man, say miss. It's rude. I watch if you call her old.
I'm going to go ahead and say that she speaks with a
There.
French accent.
okay. You see, you're asking a 17-year-old teenager. I don't even know what I'm doing tomorrow.
Alright, so she is going to. She has a the light shield, and she has the comparable to a short sword. So she's going to run up because her fighting style is that she's fast. Not as strong a hit
Hey,
as
me
the
too.
broadsword, but she's fast. So you're going to have to roll to take a powerful blow.
Which one is that again? Just flat 2d6?
Take a powerful blow. Roll plus conditions. So on your character sheet in roll 20, next to the conditions, yeah, top there's a dice to roll with conditions. There you go. Miss is a very good thing for take a powerful blow. Take a powerful blow is the only move that you want to roll really low on.
Yeah, I learned that the hard way last time.
Yeah. Just so
Hey,
you
by the
guys-
way, Unicorn died at 19, so there you go.
Alright. So you on a miss you stand strong. You mark potential as normal, so mark your potential. And see how you weather the blow. So what she's going to do is that she's going to run past you and make a slice. Not a slice. She's going to run past you on the side of you that so that her shield arm is nearer to you. And then from behind the shield, she's going to poke the sword to kind of make a very quick stab at you in and out as she runs past. Now,
Can I make
this doesn't work by the way.
a
So you have to
a
say
psychic
how-
armor?
Yes, you can. So tell me what that
Uh.
looks like.
Basically what I see in her, and I'll just copy it.
Excellent. Very good. I like this. So she makes that glancing attack. It's not a glancing attack. It's
Like, I
what
want
do
to
you call
copy
that?
everything that she
Yeah.
has.
Yeah, the full armor and everything. So she sees that, and she stops, and you guys are like square off, and it's dark, and it's forest, and you guys are in medieval armor, staring at each other, and she says, "The Templars. Are you
Look,
helping them or are you against them?"
who are you talking about?
No, well, you would be aware that the Templars is the cult.
Oh, I know about that already. Okay.
Yeah, it's a grandfather's cult. You would know this, and you guys were involved in interrupting their ritual. So yeah, you will all be aware of the Templars and what they were trying to do, that kind of thing. So like a lot of the things that you learned tonight, you would have context for. Like you do know that you guys are fighting some kind of demonic thing. That the thing that first drew you guys together was this thing trying to come through. So you would know like these basic things. You all would.
Okay.
So she
I-
asked you if you are with the Templars or against them.
I don't work for anyone. I work for myself.
She
And my team.
she's going to charge straight at you again, but this time it's not a glancing, it's not a sidelong attack. She's basically just going to run up to you and engage. So her sword comes down towards your shield, and her shield kind of comes up to meet your sword, and you guys are going to be engaged very close, face to face. So roll to take a powerful blow. Let me see how that plays out. Very good. So you again stand strong, and it's perfectly locked, and you do not give ground. And she's surprised that she can't drive you back because she came at you really fast. Her speed is impressive. Her speed
Lady,
kind of comes up to yours, which is really surprising because you have superhuman speed. So as she's engaged and she's locked in there with you, she says, "So just tell me then, why did you side against the Templars that night? Why did you stop the ritual?"
look, lady. I'm really tired. Like, I have had a long night. Can we just like talk about this in like a coffee shop or something? Do you really have to attack me?
She thinks for a minute, and then you see the helmet nod, and she draws back. She sheaths her sword, puts away her sword, and then she hesitates for a moment, and she takes off her helmet. And
Would you like to come in?
she says, she kind of glances towards the house, and there's this kind of brooding kind of look, and you get the sense that she kind of knows that Grandma's in there. Maybe not Grandma, but she knows whatever Grandma represents, she knows that that thing is in there. And she looks back at you and she says, "We are the Rosicrucians. We have been opposing the Templars for generations. They broke away from us and they are very dangerous. They broke away from us because they wanted more power. You opposed them that night. I haven't figured out why as yet. But if you are on the right side, then you will see me again. For now, be very careful and sleep with one eye open.
So no coffee.
There's just the slightest bit of a smile. It's like you are later on you are probably going to convince yourself that you imagined it because it's so hard to see in the dark. There's just the slightest hint of a smile, and then she takes off with that unnatural speed and just kind of disappears into the darkness. And that's the last scene for this night in terms of game time. So you do go inside, you get to sleep, and so on. So
By the way, after that 2 misses, I would have 1 extra potential.
2. You would get 2 potentials for those 2 misses.
Oh, after the 6, and then I have the 5 again.
Okay, so I was explaining this to Mike, to Hector earlier, Mike B, that when your potential fills up and you get all 5 potential, you clear that potential, all of them are removed, and you start over. But by filling it up, you get to take a new move. Now, you are the doomed, so let me look at your playbook, because your playbook will tell you what your options are. Everybody has different options, right?
Right.
Right, so under doomed, the first page of your playbook, you see where it says advancement.
Uh-huh.
Right, so when you fill your potential track, you advance. Choose from the list below. And you're choosing any one of those things above the line.
So if I choose rearrange my labels and add 1 to a label,
Yeah, you do that.
I would have 4,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So that I won't have to have I won't have a condition.
No. No, wait. You add a +1 to a label, but that label cannot go beyond 3.
It says on some of labels right below, advancement may increase this.
It will increase the sum of the labels, but it will not increase the maximum that a label can go to. You will be
Right.
adding +1
Right, yeah.
without a corresponding -1. So
Yeah.
the
That's what
overall
I'm-
sum. Yeah.
That's what I'm gonna do.
All right. Cool.
I'm just adding 1 to superior, basically.
Cool. No problem at all. So that would bring your superior up to
Plus
what?
1.
Okay. Cool. So copy. I'm just gonna go ahead and do the copy paste for you, just to help you out, to show that you took an advancement, so I'll know like what advancement you took. So you see under advancements, I added it for you there. Right. When
If I had after the first miss, I could have taken Moment of Truth and done impossible things like killed her. I feel like that would have been bad. Because it says do impossible things, do anything.
What I will also tell you, aside from that, we can probably discuss Moment of Truth later on when it comes up, because I think that may bear some discussion. But the things that send up your doom track are overexerting yourself and facing danger alone.
I think right now I'm overexerted because I just fought someone who's a lot stronger than I am.
Alright, I see it as being facing danger alone because she was basically testing you out. The idea here is that the Rosicrucians were the good order. They are what the order is supposed to be. And the Templars are the equivalent of the Branch Davidians. Is anyone familiar with those guys? Alright.
Yeah, David Koresh and them.
Yeah.
No.
Right, yeah. So your grandfather is David Koresh. Right, so what is happening is that the Rosicrucians have been opposing the Templars ever since the Templars broke away from the Rosicrucians and went off to do evil things. So the Rosicrucians have been trying to rein them in. And when they saw recently that you were involved in stopping this ritual, that's a big source of confusion for them right now, because you're the grandson of the leader. So she kind of did this.
Except I,
Granddaughter.
except I
Granddaughter.
don't know that, right?
You were involved in the
No, I don't know that he's my grandfather.
okay, but you do know that who he is, right?
I know of him. Yeah.
Right, yeah. Sorry, that's what I meant. So, you will not know that he's your grandfather, but you are aware of what he is. And she does know that you are supposed to be connected to this cult, even though you may be some distance from him due to the efforts of your grandma, I think it was. The fact is that she's still not sure where your loyalties lie, and she was basically just trying to feel you out with this little engagement, trying to get a sense for like where your personality lies. So it was just an engagement where she was kind of prepared for if you went all demon on her. She was prepared for that, but she was open to some kind of concourse, basic conversation, asking like, you know, what is your real story. So that's what happened there. So in terms of that, it was not a difficult fight. She was toying with you, but however, you were facing danger alone, so you will get a doom track for that. You were also supposed to get a doom track for going into Grandma's room alone.
Oh, right, yeah. That makes
so,
sense.
So I'll add that there as well. Sorry, yeah, good. Alright, so for the doom track is something that we have to keep track of. Both you and I, we have to keep remembering that that's something that you can have raised as well. And your doom track will give you advancements in the same way that your potential will give you advancements. You'll get doom signs. So you started off with the doom sign for Burning Bright, and when you get 5 doom tracks filled, you can take another doom sign, infinite powers, or portal or something, right? So that's how that works. The Doomed is a very it's one of my favorite playbooks. That and the Nova's burns are awesome in the sense that they give you a lot of power, but they can bite you in the ass so hard and so fast. It's like you can start off just running the fight, and one wrong roll and you're knocked out. Yeah. Alright, so that's it for the night. Trent, you go straight home. Is there anything in particular that you do, or do you just meet up with your mom and let her know that you're okay, you haven't been hanging out with the poison ivy and that kind of thing?
I kind of wanted to go to the forest before going home.
Sure, no
but
problem.
if you want to leave...
Yeah. Alright, so walk me through it. Like what are you doing? What do you see? What are you looking for? Or what did you have in mind? Or are you just trying to play ahead? What's going on with that?
Well, I wanted to go back to the same spot.
Yeah.
And just see if there's any sign of whatever that was. If I can see or hear anything.
Yeah. So you go back there.
Yeah.
And you see the same tree, and this time it's corporeal. It's actually like a tree. Now let me describe what this looks like in the sense of because what you're seeing is not an actual tree. You know that, of course, because trees don't talk and call you names and stuff. What this is that this is a tree that looks like it has been burnt. That's why it's so black. The surface of it is blackened and ashy. There are no leaves, but there are the bats. And it sees you looking at that, and it says, unlucky for me, I got one without leaves. Where's the justice in that? And it laughs.
What was the first thing I said?
It said, unlucky for me, I got one without leaves.
This is the same one as before.
It's
Just
the
to
same one as before. He gives you a vibe of the creepy hobo under the bridge inviting you into the dark. That's the vibe you get from him. So like what he's saying to you, he's saying it in a manner that is like the bad guy in an 80s movie.
Gonna be like, alright, I'm here.
So he begins to move, and you see that it does have like arms and legs. It's kind of like entish. Again, it's not a tree, it's not an ent. You can see that it's something that has possessed a tree's husk. Right? So, you know, he walks to the side and looks at one of the trees and says, the plant man knows where the plants will grow. And he says it in a very sarcastic way. It's like, what the hell would you know that made you run away? We were powerful, we are powerful, and we're getting stronger. We can do so much. And again, the bats start flying off of the branches and move to some of the other trees and just kind of flittering about on above you. Again, it's a little unnerving. And he says, why would you come hide out here? It's frustrating. You're one of the most dangerous of us all. What the hell are you doing? Playing dress up? What he's doing is that he's trying to he's trying to raise your freak, and he's trying to lower your mundane. Because he's saying to you that you don't belong here. What the hell are you doing? It's basically the equivalent of asking a grown man why he's playing dress up or tea. Yeah, why is he playing with a tea set? So that is
that.
Yeah. So
that's actually a change that I'll accept.
Yeah. All right, excellent. So you can make that shift. Because he does.
My freak was already at 3 though. So what happens again?
You get a condition. So look at the conditions there and tell me which one fits, because I am curious to what your emotional reaction is going to be to one, seeing this thing again, because that's like confirmation that it is real. You know, like somebody will have a ghost story to tell, but it was just like this one time that it happened, and everybody will try to convince them that they imagined things, and they themselves are not so sure because they never saw it again. You are seeing this thing again, so you know for damn
Mhm.
sure that it did actually happen. You didn't dream this. So that is rocketing through your brain. Also, this thing again seems, it's not that he knows about you, it's that he seems to know you. Like he seems to be familiar with you. He's speaking with you as if you are like an old friend or an old ally at any rate. And he's berating you the way a friend would berate you, like in a football match, is like, get your head in the game. So all this is happening and you have no idea what's going on. What is going on through your head? Like, which of these conditions would begin to take root?
I guess I'll choose angry.
Alright. So, what do you say to him? Like, how does this manifest? Or what do you do?
I'm gonna try to turn it back on him, and I'm gonna go with it. I'm gonna try to dig right back at him and say,
Yeah?
unlike you, someone who chose an empty vessel, and gesture to his burnt and rather pathetic visage that he's got going.
Yeah.
I chose one that has a little bit more potential.
Excellent. Alright, so roll me a provoke. So you'll see the move there, provoke someone, which is this is an excellent example of. It is something that you can do.
I'm not very superior, but I'll give it a.
Yeah.
Any situational?
When I pause like that is because I'm just double checking myself to make sure I'm being fair with you guys. No, I don't think so. Because let's be honest, you are on unfamiliar ground here, so you are kind of
Ooh.
bluffing.
I did okay.
Yes, you did. Alright, so let's see what provoke says. When you provoke someone susceptible to your words, say what you are trying to get them to do. And roll plus superior. For NPCs, on a 10 plus, they rise to the bait and do what you want. On a 7 to 9, they can instead choose 1. So he will either stumble and you take plus 1 forward against him. The air, you gain a critical opportunity, or they overreact, you gain influence over them. So before I go into his choice, let me ask, like, is there anything in particular? Is there a particular response you were aiming for, or a particular response you expected or were trying to get from him? In terms of you were trying to get him to do anything at all, or say something, or reveal something. Like, what did you have in mind?
I'm trying to get him to reveal, like, how and what exactly he is. Because by insulting his vessel, he's gonna try to justify it, right? That's gonna give me info.
Yeah. So what he's going to do is he's going to choose the last thing, to overreact, and you are going to gain influence over him. So I'll give you his name. His name is Nightmare.
Add influence over Nightmare?
Yeah. Alright, and yes, he is one of the lieutenants. And he's going to overreact, and he's going to give you the supervillain monologue, basically. So, the gist of it. So he's going to raise his voice and start yelling at you, and it's like, you know damn well we don't choose these bodies. We use what's here because we're here to do a job. We're the lieutenants. We usher him in. It's one of the greatest honors we have. We are lord over minions. We command legion. You think I'm here because I want this body? This is a tool.
You're a tool.
Yeah. He kind of like, he punches the tree, and the tree doesn't get pushed back. There's an explosion of splinters. And he says, I don't know what kind of game you're playing. We came through to make the way, to make ready for him, and you just run off? You think you can get away with this? Malice thinks you're a lost cause. I'm only here because I think you're just being stupid. And I still think, despite my better judgment, that you're gonna wise up and come back and do your job. Yeah, he looks at you and is waiting for a response. Did we lose Ben? I have to keep
No, I'm thinking
Yeah.
and making.
I have to make sure because I know we have audio issues going on.
So what would Malice have me do?
1 second. 1 second. 1 second. I dropped something. Yeah. What would Malice have you do? Something just occurred to me, so 1 second. Let me see if I can answer your question and mine. From what he has said, Malice thinks that you betrayed them, and Malice wants to kill you on sight. So Malice, in terms of what Malice wants you to do, Malice wants you to die. You remember that feeling you had when Karma did his vitality absorption, and there was a reaction from you that was not you?
Mm-hmm.
Alright. So roll to unleash your powers. This is happening kind of against your will.
Okay. Also, I didn't shift my labels. So, Mundane went down, and Freak just gave me a
No,
condition, right?
No. If one of the labels is going to cross, like if Freak is going to cross, then none of the shift happens at all. Mundane doesn't go down, Freak doesn't go up. You get the condition instead of the label shift.
Oh. So that actually wasn't good. It just pissed me off.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to roll Freak. Any situation?
Yes. +2.
Ooh. Odds are greatly in my favor, yep.
Alright. I'm not exactly sure what I did to myself there, but well, let's wing it. When you unleash your powers to overcome an obstacle, reshape your environment, or extend your senses. Roll plus Freak. On a hit, you do it. 179, mark a condition, or the GM will tell you how the effect is unstable or temporary. Right, good. Good, this fits. So this is a full hit, which means that that the effect is not unstable. It's not. It doesn't like die on you halfway, anything like that. But again, you are basically a passenger in this show because something inside of you rises up and it is angry also, and you hear a voice kind of coming out of your throat. Again, as I said, you're a passenger on this ride.
Mhm.
And he says, Stupid? I'm the only one that's being smart here. And as this happens, your transformation gets magnified a little bit. Now, this is something that happens along the way, in the sense that when you are in a fight or when you are unleashing your powers, your appearance will become more and more tree-like. So, like, generally, you are still humanoid. You just look like if you have a skin condition. That's all. But when your power comes out, your skin actually becomes bark, thick bark. So you have the protection coming out. You have like your hair is like little tiny branches with little leaves coming out. Your body gets bigger, like a tree trunk. You gain a little height, that kind of thing. So you are not surprised by this happening. What surprises you is the extent. It's like your size increases, but this time it increases to the point where you are on the same level with him. You are about his size or a little bigger, and around you, the wooded area around you, the trees begin to wilt, like branches begin to lean down towards the ground. Leaves start to quail is the word we use here in Trinidad. I don't know if you guys do that, where it's like the reverse of what happens, where instead of fluid going into the leaf, it comes out. And this happens as you are explaining to him that I have seen death, I have seen lands laid waste, I have seen what we usher in, and I have chosen not to see that again. Do you think you can tell me what it is we do? I am sickened by what we have done, and I will not have it happen again. I didn't run away to escape. I stepped away so that I could crush you. And the leaves, so there's like a little wane, and your power level goes back down a little bit, and the trees kind of recover back to normal, but you are still in your released form, so you're no longer as tall as him, but you are taller than you are.
Okay. And in this time, did I refer to this rival as anybody in particular? Did I use a name?
The person that is inside of you? No, him. He is Nightmare. The guy with the bats instead of leaves, he is Nightmare. Malice is another person.
You cut out again. I didn't catch the first part.
The one you are talking to is Nightmare. Malice is another person. Malice is another lieutenant. You see, Karma had a vision that would kind of put this into perspective, but she hasn't shared that as yet. So you guys probably will be still putting this together. But you have some information here that they don't. In that you have met one of the lieutenants, and you have heard reference to another one. So what so it's a full hit. So what Nightmare is going to do, Nightmare is going to he's just going to gruffly say, so be it. The next time we meet, you'll be sorry you're on the wrong side. And he goes incorporeal again and dissipates, and the bats fly away, and he's gone.
Okay. That might be a good spot to leave it tonight.
Yeah.
Since we just lost Mike.
Yeah, I was thinking so as well. So let's just do the team moves. Did So everyone says if they feel they grew closer to the team, if they grew into their image of their own self, or if they grew apart from the team.
Well, I wasn't really involved tonight, so nothing happened.
What I can probably suggest is that you did have a few key conversations in there with Karma and with Karma. I think it was twice. So that is something to consider. And you did
Karma
not have
and
anything.
Nectar.
Yeah, and you did not have anything happen that made you feel a disconnect from the team. I mean, you're not angry at anybody.
Yes, I said I wasn't really involved, so yeah, I don't think anything changes for me.
Yeah. I mean, normally you would have to choose one, but I guess I can let that be for now.
But I literally wasn't involved in the day's session, so I just don't see how it works.
I know. I'm just gonna let it stay the same for you.
He's gone, Ty.
Yeah, just so that he'll see it when he comes back. I can always find out from him later. What about you, Karma?
Closer because of the conversation with Soldiers.
Cool. Alright. So, in terms of closer, peripheral moves, it's under peripheral moves, you'll see end of session. So that would be Soldiers. So that means you would give influence to Soldiers, and you can either clear a condition or you can mark potential.
Wait, when did I get angry?
Let me see your sheet. You got that somewhere. Karma. Angry. What did you miss?
Well, if I have it, I'm getting rid of it.
I marked angry on my sheet. I don't know why you would have it.
I'm trying to remember myself, because I don't remember you getting it.
I don't think you should have angry. When did you get a condition?
I got afraid earlier, but that's it.
Okay, I don't think you got angry. You might have just double clicked and hit angry by accident.
Yeah, possibly.
Oh,
So let's
okay.
get rid of that.
Well, I'm adding potential.
Cool.
And since Soldiers already have, you already have
Yeah, so
influence over me, right?
Hold on. Now here it says I have influence over Ektar and the Outsider.
Well, you have influence over me now.
Yeah. So, like, one of the uses of influence is you remember that comfort and support that you tried to do earlier for Karma. If you try and do a comfort and support again, you would get a +1 because you have influence over Karma.
I feel like we should probably cash in on those to shift labels.
Yeah, you can. It's because the choice is yours. You know what you want to do, I think. So let's do. So that was Karma. Let's do you, Trent. What do you think? Closer to the team, grow into your own image of yourself, or grow away from the team?
I guess closer to my own image of myself. No, into my own image.
Yeah, because I can see that because you kind of have a better idea of what is going on to you. Maybe not the full thing, but you've gotten some pieces. So,
Yeah, I have a lot more information on like what I am exactly, and I did stand up to a big baddie.
Yeah, you did. So you get to shift your own labels. You can shift one up and one down. Whatever is most appealing to you.
Okay. I'm going to shift danger up 1 and mundane down.
That works for me. That is pretty good, actually. Did I miss anyone? 1, 2, 3. I think that's everyone. All right.
Nope.
Because, well, Mike B, I'll have to do his tomorrow or whenever he's available.
Do I clear a doom track if I told them that about what I do to Grandma?
Let me just check your playbook. 1 second. When you share a vulnerable or weakness of something and ask if they honestly think there's hope for you. If they say yes, mark potential or clear 1 box of your doom track. So part of sharing that vulnerability or weakness, you do kind of have to have that conversation and they decide. Yeah, they have to answer whether they think that there's hope for you or not. So that can be phrased in a lot of ways.
Soldiers did, though.
I mean, I literally said bad powers don't make bad people. You control your powers.
Right.
I literally, word for word, said, don't worry about how bad your powers are. Worry about how well you use them.
All right, no problem. Because I think I was looking at that in the context of comfort and support, but it does actually because that was a move at the time, but it does actually count as the team move. So yes, you can either mark potential or you can clear a box of your doom track. The reason why it was the question took me a little bit by surprise is that not everyone is in such a hurry to clear the doom track. The doomed is kind of polarized like that. Some people don't ever want to fill their doom track because yes, filling a doom track brings you closer to your doom. However, there is an equal amount of people who are kind of eager to fill part of the doom track because when you fill your doom track, that's when you get some really good powers. You get the doom signs, you get like for instance, infinite powers basically gives you access to any and all playbooks. Portal means you are not bounded by narrative anymore. You can just appear in a scene with anyone. Bolstered, dark visions. All these are pretty good things that the doom track gives you. So it's not always. It doesn't always come up where someone is trying to clear their doom track, but it's completely fine if you choose to do that. Just to let you know that there are benefits to the doom track, so that you know you can weigh it for yourself. That is true. So now that the game is finished, I can just out of character discuss some stuff with you guys. Mike, Onyx, there is some hooks that are already in place for you. That
yeah. I'm not really that worried about it.
Yeah, because we spent some time at the beach house and we spent some time at the secret base. So I was kind of hoping that you guys would eventually try to find out some more in the city, because there are 1 or 2 things in wait for you, Onyxius.
But when Batman just disappears off the face of the earth, and Grandma's a demon, that's going to take priority. We're not going to be like, oh, Batman disappeared off the face of the earth? Yeah, fuck it.
That's what the hook for you is embedded in that. That's as much as I can tell you.
I don't
So-
see why you wouldn't buff your labels, though. You're basically... Yeah, you're actually in your own mother's shoes.
Oh yeah, because you haven't done anything as yet. You can still do it if you want to.
I would do like Savior and Superior or something.
My Savior's already up to 3.
The legacy. What does the legacy use most?
Savior?
So what I think you would probably do, if you see yourself as more of a leader, you can probably shift Superior up.
Yeah, you could do Superior and Mundane.
My mundane's already 0. I still consider myself to be somewhat down to earth. So let's see. My freak's already -1. So I guess, I don't see any reason for it. I guess I could bring my superior up by 1 and bring my freak down to -2. How negative can it get?
Negative.
-3. Oh, really?
Yeah, I think it's -2.
I thought it was the same. The more you know. That means I can't decrease my mundane anymore.
You're at -2.
Mhm.
Yeah. I'll check.
I don't know if that's a good
-2.
thing.
It's +3 to -2.
Who was supposed to be kind of the party buffer as far as handling the social aspect? Was that Ray?
In terms of handling the what aspect?
Social aspect of healing.
There
Somebody
was not.
chose an ability that helped.
Let me see what Rhea
think it
has.
was Rhea.
You guys have access to each other's sheets, by the way, so you can take a look at
Oh, that's
Rhea's sheet and see. Reason why I left it open is because you do have to shift each other's labels, so I wasn't sure if you guys would like to do that yourselves or if you just ask the person what to shift it for you or something. So I'm just like, whatever. We're all adults here. Not so different after all. He has, React has a couple things that help when he's interacting with the group. So like if he's doing a confidant support, he can do belong in 2 worlds, I think.
Oh right, I think it's we're the same something after all.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was that.
Yeah, that's it.
That's what we were missing tonight.
Yeah. Well, it's not something that hurt you not having it.
Oh, by the way, I put my mundane up by 1 instead of my superior because considering the fact that I spent most of the day trying to make Karma feel better, that's the only thing.
Cool.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah. So what did you take down?
Well, I put my freak down to -2.
Okay. Yeah, that's cool. You have a move. The legacy has a move that allows you to use a different label. Let me just check it in the playbooks. And it's something very, very useful. It's one of the benefits.
Yeah, it
of
allows
the
me to
legacy.
use savior instead of having to use danger for something, if I recall.
Right. So when you have that, you don't have to care about keeping your danger up, because you use your savior for defend as normal, and in addition you also use it for directly engage, and I think one of the other moves allows you to use it for unleash your powers as well. So once your savior is up, you are good. Unlike the others who kind of have to maintain some sort of balance depending on what they are doing at the time. So it is a little bit more stable in that sense. However, if your savior goes down, then there is an adverse effect.
My 2 main stats are maxed. I'm a loose cannon now.
Yeah, you came out of this really, really well. I did not plan that. I gave you the bonus because I kind of wanted to make the position clear. I tend to avoid being ambiguous. If I can make a situation clearer so that you guys know where you stand and where the NPCs stand, I'll try to do it. So I gave you the bonus to kind of make it a little over the top so that you'd be clear that you're not a bad guy. You're the person who merged with you to give you your powers. He betrayed the bad side.
Yeah, but whatever merged with me doesn't seem to be actually that evil.
Yeah, which is kind of why he left the evil side. Kind of.
I'm still missing how he left if they don't control their vessel. Or, don't choose it, rather.
What they do is that they possess whatever is there, because this isn't the only world that they have come to. This isn't the only time that they have come to this world. What I can tell you is that the reason why Nightmare is burned like that, the last time they came through at the volcano near the reservation, the trees around the volcano were burned by lava flows and by just general fire. So when
I get you.
yeah, so when Nightmare possessed the nearest thing, which happened to be that tree, that's how he got his appearance.
Well, I'm gonna have some explaining to do to Soldiers next time. Since Soldiers is the one who knew me before I changed.
Yeah. So just that reservation is the same one that your grandfather is tied to. Your great grandfather is tied to. So when that comes up, it is pertaining to you. So I'm not certain if you're missing that or if you're just not sure how to engage with it. But just a reminder that your legacy does come into play there in some ways.
All right.
Alright. So I think we will end there for now. Thanks for playing.